What you are seeing now is one of the achievements of all time. The magnus opus of trophies that has been deemed the last trophy to get for the final platinum. I sat on a makeshift toilet wearing a crown. This is Corekeeper, an explore and survive game like Terraria and Minecraft. This is a top-down perspective with a pixel art styled game that has its moments of looking really pretty, but also very cluttered. Also, due to the pixel art style, it can be hard to understand what you're looking at, especially the windows. I've ran into my own windows too many times. In Corekeeper, you have fallen down a hole and now you're trying to get out of the caverns that you're stuck in. The only way out is to take out the bosses around the map and finally earn your freedom from the underground. All you do is explore and find ore, items, enemies, procedurally generated points of interest, etc. and upgrade the skill tree. Now, there isn't anything wrong with this way of play, and it was all around pretty fun in the beginning. I just wanted to keep playing and see what else I could find. The mining progression is satisfying, but the combat leaves a lot to be desired. In the beginning of the playthrough, I decided to do magic, but there's a huge flaw to that, because there aren't really any magic weapons to use or magic-based armor to gain. This is also worse for summoning, because at the time of playing through, there are only 3 summons for the entire game, and the first summon you get is the only viable option. You can upgrade items you get, but that's not until later in the game. So until then, you're stuck with low-level drops. Though summoning magic isn't really good, the rest of the armor sets and items are melee or range, and they lean very heavy on that fact, expecting you to be melee and or range character. But you can pick and choose whatever class you want whenever you want, so it's not that big of an issue, just a lack of variety. There are some things to note though. The ores are specific to certain areas. Those areas contain about 3 or 4 enemy types each, and the points of interest are cool to find, but some have specific items that you need to create legendary items. It's a fun game for just going through the story and story-related bosses. There are some optional ones as well. The majority of the bosses are just reskins of another boss. Like this slime boss has 5 variants of itself with a minor difference in fighting using poison or bubbles. There's another boss type. They are hydras, but they are the same with a minor change as well. There are of course other unique bosses, and those are actually pretty good fights. The only thing is, they all feel so tanky. In order to take out some bosses, I'm gonna say you have to take out a wall before you can actually deal damage to the boss, and then the wall comes back. Continue a cycle of dealing damage to the wall until you can hit the actual boss, and rinse and repeat. The combat has so much potential, but the damage numbers are always so high that it sometimes feels like a hit or miss of dealing so much damage to not dealing any damage. But everything hits hard no matter what in the later areas. This game does have multiplayer, but that does cause the race to loot aspect, because loot from bosses / enemies is not personal to the player, so you could have your loot snagged. There is a skill tree, like I mentioned before, that you can use that allows upgrades to certain skills, like mining, fishing, farming, melee, etc. They all max out at level 100, and every 5 levels, you get 1 skill point for the respective skill. Though when you actually hit 100, you get an extra 5 points for free, which is nice. Though I have some things to nitpick about this game that are just very mind-numbing and boring while also being annoying. One of the biggest issues in my opinion with Corekeeper is that it leans so far into the grinding aspect that it will take you hours to full level up just 1 skill to the max. You also have to grind for legendary tools like the pickaxe, a sword, and a bow. The pickaxe takes 800 bars of 3 different ores and 400 of another ore. It's just as bad as you think. The sword and bow have scattered parts in specific areas in specific rooms and specific chests and interactable points of interest. Which brings up another big issue. It will take forever to find procedurally generated buildings to get specific crafting pieces for a specific piece of paper that you get from a boss that just has a chance to drop it. You have to look for hours for a particular building or room. This is just way too much time wasting, and it's extremely boring. I personally do recommend this game to anyone looking for another adventure game that has building, boss fights, and level progression, to an extent, and it can be really enjoyable and relaxing. But, if you are looking to 100% Corekeeper, I cannot recommend. There will be spoilers from here on out. Are they gone? Good. Now let me explain. The grind is so unbelievably boring and so specific. I started off with magic from the start, and it's just an add-on to the trophy list, which means it's not required for the platinum trophy. At the end, I was running a melee and range build, which of course was the best option I could have done. Now, I have to talk about the skills. The skills have their own respective requirements to level up. Like, to level up mining, you need to deal damage to blocks, or for running, you just have to move a specific amount of blocks. I think you get the idea. Leveling up wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't increasingly longer to level up as you go, and so much repetition, especially if you're focused on one skill. It takes so much time to level up your melee from 0, and guess what? The whole game is about mining, and I wasn't able to get my mining to 100 until it was third to last, next to melee and running. How? I don't know. I've mined the entire game and I just don't get it. If you really want to 100% this game, then good luck. It will be very boring and unenjoyable. I don't think there will be anything to bring me back to it, unlike Terraria or Minecraft. If I were to rate this game without the completionist in me, it's a good game and well made, so I would rate it around 7 out of 10. 10 being play this game right now. Now with the completionist in me, I would have to rate this an easy 2 out of 10. 10 being 100% is recommended. Now here are all the trophies for your satisfaction.
Know the recipe for
49 mining damage? Holy!
I'm way too fast for him. It's actually alright. I don't know how I'm alive. 100% of the time, let's go.
Into action.
Jump.
Oh, I got him. Oh, we did it! Yes, sir! Boom. Yeah, baby!
Whoa. That was
dead.
He's about to die.
He's dead! For love of goose. Let's go! Him up! Yeah! I never heard anything about that. I got the fuck. Here we go. Boom. Larva.
told her not to do with her egg.
Thanks for watching. If I were to rate this game without the completionist, If I were to rate this game without the completionist in God